Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. So thank you my members, and let's get into it. So we are flying out today a little bit of the T129, which is a very cool helicopter made by the Turkish Republic, and it is a very interesting aircraft. It is based on the Augusta Mangusta, right? The normal A129 that we see here. As you see, it's a very similar aircraft, but there are differences if you look into it, like the intakes and the engines and stuff. So yeah, there's some differences, but it is built inside Turkey, which is a very cool thing. I think these attack helicopters, they're very nice, and they are very effective at their job, right? They're made for destroying tanks and stuff like that from far away. So yeah, it's a pretty good one. There's not much to talk about in the differences in the normal layout of the aircraft. Obviously, you have the rotary 20 millimeter here. Very good rate of fire, very good gun. To be honest, a very good gun. It's not the most penetrating gun ever, as you see here. I mean, 53 millimeter is pretty alright, but it's not like OP kind of thing, you know. But the BR is very low. It's a 9.7 aircraft. So yeah, I think it's a very well designed aircraft, and it has some cool features. Okay, so obviously the main thing about attack helicopters are the armament. So let's take a look on them. Obviously, it has the MAWs, obviously, it has MVDs and stuff, Stingers. So yeah, the IR missile that you can carry is the Stinger. So not the greatest thing ever, but it is pretty alright. You can use it to defend yourself. Not anything by any means close to a Ty-90, but it is a very good missile compared to the Igla as well. So we have the normal unguided rockets here, and then you have two guided laser guided ammunition. So you have the L UMTAS, which is a kind of the same situation as you see in the Hellfire, as you see here. So they are laser guided with the INS, and they penetrate kind of quite a bit of armor, as you see here, 1100. So they are very similar to a Hellfire, but they are very slow. So they are half a Mach of speed, and that's basically like way slower than other missiles. Still very effective, but it is a slow missile. So just think about that. The more time the missile is flying to the target, the more time the target have the time to shoot at you. So that's always a problem. And I just saw this. Oh, this is the ammo belt. I never saw these in the Mangusta. Jeez, that's freaking cool, man. How do you load this? From the back, probably? And then you just put it. That's so cool. I never saw that. Let's see if the normal Mangusta has. It has too. I never saw that. Well, but yeah, pretty interesting. So it has these missiles, and then it has these little ones, which are called the seeded rocket. It is a tiny little rocket compared to a Hydra, kind of. You know, if you see the penetration is, I mean, it's alright, but it's not that much, 290 millimeters, and it is not a missile that turns very well. Okay, it's a missile that it is basically a Hydra missile that it's guided. So the objective is probably to be cheap. So it's not a rocket that it turns to turn too much, you know. But it is a very cool one. Because of that, you can actually carry 8 guided missiles over here. You can even guide 6 and then take a Stinger, for example, which would be fairly good, I think, as an attack option. You know, I still think obviously the Hellfires, the UMTAs here, they are better than the other missile, but you have to be careful just because they are very slow. And the Sirit kind of fixes that. It is a very fast missile, as you see, like 1.3 Mach, so it's a very fast missile. But yeah, it doesn't have INS, obviously, just laser guided, and it doesn't turn very well. You have to think about that, okay? So yeah, let's take a look flying around in the PVE, because I don't have a lot of tanks here. I really need to get my stuff together and just grind it out some tanks for me to do proper videos of it. It's on my list, but yeah, you know how it is grinding. We kind of don't have much time to grind because I'm doing a lot of videos and stuff. So yeah, but it is one of my objectives. But yeah, let's get into a battle to see how it performs. So yeah, we are here in the PvE in Afghanistan, and we are flying out the T129. It's a very cool helicopter. For the BR, it's a very, very good addition as a premium if you want to research the... Not only if you want to research it, the Italian tree, but I think the helicopters especially, I know that you guys probably feel like it's worth it to get a premium because it is very difficult to grind helicopters. It's a very tough thing, you know, to do. But remember that it's just a few helicopters, especially the Italian tech tree. It has only like 3 helicopters, technically 2 because the first one is already researched if you have an aircraft or a tank of tier 5. And yeah, there's not much reason to it, but obviously I think you should buy it because you like the aircraft. I always say this about premiums. You know, I think it's a matter of just liking the aircraft before you even think about what you are actually buying it for the grind, you know. So yeah, just think about that for a second. And this is a very effective way to destroy multiple targets. As you see, we have multiple missiles being launched, and I just change targets. I fire a missile from each 5 seconds, kind of, and if the target's not hit, I just maintain it on the target there. But as you see, it's a very, very slow missile, and that could be a very bad problem, okay? So just think about that when you are flying this aircraft, because it's not something that you have normally in these. I mean, the BR is kind of lower, so yeah, it's fine, I guess. But it's something that you normally don't face with more advanced type of missiles, you know. So normally Hellfires and stuff like that, and Vikirs and stuff, they tend to not be that slow. And the more time you are waiting for the missile to actually get to the target, the more time you are waiting for something to actually hit you. So always think about that. And as you see here, the unguided rockets, they can turn, but not that much. As you see, they don't like to turn, as you see here. I mean, it's alright, but it's not very useful if you are close to the target. Which is funny because the other missile, the UMAS, I think it's called, the UMTAS, sorry. It is a missile that it's so slow that it can turn very, very well, you know. And yeah, that's kind of funny, right? And then we have the 20mm as well, which is a very, very good gun. It's one of the best gun for these slightly armored targets, I think, because it spreads it out and it has a very cool rate of fire. If you saw other helicopters, they have a lower fire rate, or they have a bigger millimeter, but they penetrate a lot and don't do a lot of splash damage, which makes missiles targets not die for this type of thing, you know. So yeah, it's just a very cool gun, but this is the normal gun that you normally see. Here we can see the strategy again. As you see, I fire the Luntas and just wait a couple of seconds, fire another one, wait like 5 seconds, fire another one, and just keep doing that. And eventually there's a lot of missiles in the air. Because the missile is too slow, you have actually a lot of time to do this. If you are flying in an aircraft that has more faster missiles, I would advise you guys to just wait a little bit more. But if it's a slow missile like this one, you just can fire. I mean, come on, I have one missile and it's already depleted, right? So see how many missiles are flying, and I'm missing some because these targets are not very near each other, and they are trying to turn, as you see. Sometimes they can, sometimes they cannot. So yeah, it's just a matter of getting used to it. But the missile is very, very slow, man. It's very, very slow, and you just have to be careful. And these little other missiles here, they tend to have a problem of turning, as I said. So normally you won't be even seeing them get to the target. So just be careful, you know. I don't think it's the best helicopter ever in the game for you to buy, but being a 9.7, it can be very, very effective, especially if used with something like maybe, I don't know, the Ariete prototype, even though it's a 10.0, or something like that, it would be very, very cool to use it. The VCC 8030, some things like that, it can be very, very effective at the BR. So make sure I just realized it is 10.0 in realistic, so it's not in simulator, it's 9.7. So yeah, pick up the Ariete and other 10.0 aircraft, and it's a very, very effective. I think compared to the normal Agusta, I think it's very comparable, to be honest. um, Basically the same, but the Agusta will have less missiles. You do have a missile that it's a lot faster than it, which is the TOW2, but it does penetrate less as well, I think. Let me check real quickly, but let me check. Yeah, it penetrates a lot less, but the missile is a lot faster, like 2 to 3 times more faster. So yeah, it's different. The Roy Valk, for example, it's an aircraft that it's even better than the Apache, I think. And this one, it's kind of very similar. It has its advantages over it and its advantages. So yeah, pretty cool. But let me know in the comments what you think about this helicopter. And yeah, subscribe. I hope you see you in the next video. And yeah, make sure to leave it in the comments if you think it's worth it. So bye guys. See ya.